Welcome, friends. Today I want to talk about in TPL C sharp task what is the concept of pre computed tasks. Okay, so let's get started. We have an example here which I can use to illustrate that concept. So basically, I've defined a concurrent dictionary where the key and the value is basically a string and is going to be called as cache downloads. I will get to it how we are going to use it, and then we are just storing an HTTP client also here as new. And then we have some string URLs which will reach out to get some content, and these are all Microsoft websites, so that's all good. And then we define an enumerable task of strings downloads. Basically, in from URLs we are going to select and call this method download string async, and which will return some tasks. You can see it returns tasks of strings. That's what we'll end up getting. So what are these strings? So basically we are this method is given an address, and we'll create a task dot run a task. It's an async task, and we will call the HTTP client to get the string from that address, and that's called content, the string. And we are also going to add it to the cache that I discussed before, and we'll do a try add. So the key is the address and the value is whatever content we got, and then we just return the content from this async method inside it, and this is a task. Okay, so this is a task. As you can see, this returns a task of a string. So that's what we do, and when we will now wait for all these tasks to complete. So downloads was this one, right? This all the tasks, two tasks we have for each of the URLs, and we'll continue with and create something called download task. That's parameter is going as download tasks, and we will just log that information. So this continue with is just downloading it. Logging the information. So what it is doing is first parameter is the temp number, and then the second was those task strings we got. We will get the result of those tasks and sum them up, and that will be the result length. That's what this is doing, and we'll print the character count and the temp number as a log. So basically, to summarize, what this does is we create tasks, two tasks essentially, because we have two URLs which go to that URL, get that string content, and then in the end we are printing just a log information, a temp number, and also on the count characters that we got. And then what we do is then we do it again. We call the same code basically again, and then we'll wait for them again, and then we'll just log this again as a temp number 2. So let me show you what we would expect to see, and it should make complete sense to you. Basically, when attempt number 2, we got those URLs and we retrieved some characters. That was a sum this much first time, and then we did the same thing again, and the sum is the same. So that's all great, but we still have to understand the concept of pre-computed task. So this is where the concept comes in. So what we will end up doing is basically before we call the URL, we want to see if our cache already has the data. So if the cache already has the data, then output string will essentially be content. So we say data returned from cache for that particular address. But so now we already have the data from that website, so we don't really need to go and get it again, or at least that's for this demonstration. But from this method, we need to return the task. But since this task result is already computed, that's why it's called pre-computed task. So what we can do is to create a result from a task from a computed result. We can just use this method task from result content. So this concept is called pre-computed task. So because this result is already pre-computed, we don't need to kind of go in and get it again. And so the second time around, it should just get it from the cache, and we just return a task from this pre-computed data. So if we run it now, the output would be pretty much still the same, but the only difference is when we do the temp number 1, we will cache that data. And then the second time when we go, will data return from this cache, return from this cache. And attempt number two, a retrieve character is going to be this. So that is the concept of pre-computed tasks. Basically, you can use task from result to return a task if you already have the data pre-computed. So thank you for watching this short screencast and you have a great day.